Hello everybody, welcome back to our discussion on civil engineering project management. We'll be continuing with fourth module, and today's discussion is on professional ethics. As one grows in a profession, especially project management, I guess significant portion of energy as well as time will be spent for resolving dilemmas, conflicts, challenges posed by ethical problems than technical problems. So therefore, uh, the knowledge about this professional ethics is of highest importance as far as a professional is concerned. And here, these are the various topics covered: concept of ethics, professional ethics, then ethical problems, then provisions of a professional code, the role of professional bodies. Ethics is a moral philosophy, is a system of moral principles which is concerned with what is good for individual and society. Ethics is a science of moral. We need to look at each of these terminologies very carefully. And moral or moral values, the meaning is these are the ideas of right and wrong of a person, an individual's perception of what is right and wrong, and which is very subjective in nature, and this is influenced by one person's environment, a person's belief systems, a person's social background, etc. And therefore it is highly subjective in nature. And philosophy refers to it is known as a science of science, or it means it is about the perspective or approach towards anything. And therefore ethics is about the approach towards a set of moral principles which is concerned with the good of an individual or a society. And ethics is not just about a set of morals, because it is there is a distinction between ethics as well as moral values, because ethics is more practical in nature and it does not have to be moral always. And because ethics means it is a set of rules for the people to follow, known as ethical codes. And ethical codes are something more than the set of beliefs or set of moral values. At the same time, it is not about the cosmic righteousness or absolute truth. And sometimes ethics are not always moral, and as well as vice versa. Like all moral aspects are not ethical also. For example, a lawyer telling the court that his client is guilty, and as per the ethics, the lawyer is not supposed to reveal that his client is guilty. At the same time, a lawyer as an individual, his moral value is telling that he is guilty. And now, how to measure this ethical behavior or moral values? It is actually based on the degree of trustworthiness as well as the integrity, how much reliable a person, individual is. So that is a deciding factor. And now, coming to our construction industry, ethic has developed both at a professional level as well as at organizational level. And the increasing emphasis on sustainability and environment in construction further requires companies to apply ethical standards to their activity. So therefore, the emphasis on the sustainability and environment, or the need for looking at things in a more comprehensive and holistic manner is one of the reason why we try to follow or apply this ethical standards in our activity. And law is a system of rules and guidelines which are enforced through social institutions to govern the behavior. And law, in its most general and comprehensive sense, signified the rule of action and is applied indiscriminately to all kinds of actions, whether animate or inanimate, rational or irrational, said by one Blackstone. I think he has done some research. And then concept of ethics, there is a so there are some similarities between these two terminologies. Similarities are based on moral values. Both ethics and laws are based on moral values, and both are based on behavior of human beings, which describe the behavior of human beings, and both try to prevent the people from violating them and provide people guidelines of what have to be done or what not have to be done, what should be done and what should not be done, and making people benefit from being member of a well regulated society. Now, at the same time, there are some differences between these two. Ethics come from people's awareness of what is right and what is wrong, whereas laws are written and approved by the government. Ethics may vary from people to people, whereas laws describe clearly what is illegal, no matter how people are arguing about it. For example, some people they support this capital punishment, whereas some people they oppose. It's all anyway. If they live in a country, they have to abide by the rule. At the same time, they have difference in opinion, which is because of the perception and because of the difference in their ethical values. And ethics may or may not be well defined, whereas laws have to be defined and should be precise. And ethics not punished by relevant authorities for violations, whereas laws are punishable if violated. And there are some combinations possible about this ethics and laws. Like first one, when there could be some action which are legal and ethical at the same time. For any normal good gesture can be considered as a legal and ethical action. And illegal and unethical actions. Any crime or offense are simultaneously illegal as well as unethical. And there are other combinations also, like some actions which are illegal in front of law and at the same time which are ethical or morally correct. And there are some opposite cases like legally correct and unethical. And then there are some cases where it is illegal, but at the same time it has nothing to do with the ethics. So we will see examples of the last three, because first two anyway will be knowing. An action which is illegal but morally right, and examples are civil disobedience movement by Gandhiji, then giving prescription drug to a person that we know since long. This is another example. Sometimes at times we may have to break the rule of having prescription for giving drug, just to save for the purpose of saving lives of some sick person. Similarly, overspeeding just to reach hospital fast. I think we used to come across various newspaper reports saying that a KSRTC bus took a sick person or a person who was facing some cardiac problem, and suddenly they took him to hospital by cancelling their trip. So it is illegal actually, because they were supposed to operate their trip, but they cancelled it and they took the person to hospital. So thereby it is considered as a very good gesture. Now, an action that is legal that can be morally wrong. For instance, some people they spend thousands of dollars on their pets, while some poor people on the streets, they have streets cannot have enough food. That is an example. Because they have their own it's all because of the ethical difference in ethics of different people, individuals as well as community. Because some people they feel that all lives are of equal importance, and whereas some people they feel that animals and birds and other creatures are the other non-human being creatures are to be taken care of more than human beings. And that is another Set of people that's their belief, and whereas some people they take it in a very human centric. They take the whole world as a human centric way, so that priorities for the human being. And now, being rude to co-workers, uh, we cannot do anything. Like a senior officer who behaves in a very rude manner, but we cannot take him file any petition, or we cannot file any a case, charge any case, because it is just a behavior. Now, another example is laws that have nothing to do with ethics, like somebody who breaks the traffic rule. Then that has got nothing to do with the ethics. And then professional ethics means professional ethics encompasses the personal and corporate standards of behavior expected by professionals. And professionals are those working in acknowledged professions, exercise specialist knowledge and skill. How the use of this knowledge should be governed when providing a service to the public, but can be considered as a moral issue. Now, this is a Hippocratic oath taken by the medical practitioners. I suggest you to read it very patiently. And again, it has got some classical version, the original version, and this is a modern version available. I'm not spending time on this, but I very much suggest you to go through this, at least that modern version, in depth. Now, see, one or two examples I'll read. Two oaths. I will apply for this benefit of sick all measures which are required, avoiding those twin traps of over treatment and therapeutic nihilism, which means a doctor should not be overconfident about the treatment or medicine, or at the same time it should not be like he has no faith and trust on the medicine. So both are not allowed for a professional. And I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy and understanding may overweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug. So important. This actually shapes us into a professional than acquiring some skills. And I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery. So my utmost priority is on saving the patient than my ego. But I will never be hesitant to say that I do not know, accept the fact that I do not know, or admit the fact that I do not know. And I will always call my colleagues whenever required. And I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me, that the world may know, and so on. You can read it. Now, similar oaths are there for engineers also, and I'm an engineer. This is one of the oaths which I took from a source, and there are a couple of other oaths also available. I'm an engineer. In my profession, I take deep pride to it, and I owe solemn obligations, serious obligations. I owe to people, and as an engineer, I pledge to practice integrity and fair dealings, tolerance, respect, and so many qualities. You can read that. And then some specific obligations of a professional are hold paramount the safety, health and welfare of the public, and then perform in their every action. Okay, for a civil engineer, when you do some design, when you do some practice some execution, at the execution stage or at any stage, you have to hold paramount the safety, health and welfare of the public, everybody, and then perform services only in areas of their competence. And we must not try to do some experiment on things that we are not competent at, and that's considered as an that's related that's an ethical affair, to deal only with the areas of our competency. And then issue public statement only in an objective and truthful manner, because we will not respond to, react to any kind of hearsays and other informations from unreliable sources and all, and act for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees, avoid deceptive acts, and I will not indulge in any sort of misrepresentations and all, and conduct themselves honorably, responsibly, ethically and lawfully, so as to enhance the honor, reputation and usefulness of the profession. And engineers shall acknowledge their efforts and shall not distort or alter the facts. And engineers shall advise their clients or employees when they believe a project will not be successful. This is very important. You have to no misrepresentation. Certain facts and reality we have to accept. And engineers shall not accept outside employment to the detriment of their regular work or interest. And before accepting any outside engineering employment, they will notify their employers. Means there are some people who work at multiple places simultaneously, which is actually against the professional ethics for an engineer. And engineers shall not attempt to attract an engineer from another employer by false or misleading pretenses. And engineers shall not promote their own interest or self-interest at the expense of dignity and integrity of the profession. And everything is applicable for us. Now we will continue with this session in the next video.